Everybody's Taylor checking out the Lakeshore Qualifier, checking with team number 4021 igKnightion, and I'm here with Cole talking about this modified 2020 robot as they have coming in from the year. So can't wait to talk about everything as we go through this course, the power cell journey, intake into the hopper, into the shooter, and you guys have had a really successful climber. All this and more coming up on Behind the Bumpers.
Giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
We'd like to thank Stryker for their continued support of First Updates Now. Stryker's internship portal is now open and available. Discover internships and rotational programs located around the world, including their headquarters in Michigan, when you go to careers.stryker.com and click on Students and Graduates. We'd also like to thank Kettering University. Kettering University is where robotics students come for their education. Over 30% of those who attend Kettering University were in high school robotics, and you can keep going with their BattleBots, VexU, esports, and First Mentorship programs. If you are a U.S. student grades 8 through 12, scan the QR code to stay up to date on info and events happening at Kettering and get a free Kettering t-shirt when you sign up by December 12th, 2021.
So Cole, take us through the intake of this robot starting out. Talk to me about some of the wheels that you chose to use, some of the design process as well.
So we chose to use compliant wheels, so that way if the things get jammed, there's a little bit of give in them. So when the balls come in, it's not like just a hard wheel. So there's a little bit of give so it doesn't wreck anything. Definitely we struggled a lot with getting it to come up and down by itself. And then we eventually just decided to abandon that idea entirely. And we went with, so we have right here, there's a little 3D part that I designed myself that has gears on it for a pulley, and it's like basically acting like a belt for the pulley that's on the outside. Essentially what happens is this turns and it drops the whole lift down like that, and then it stays in that configuration the entire time, and then it's able to like pop up to when it picks the balls up. And then after it does that, we have a belt on the inside. It has two belts. It's a really, really long one. It's run by a motor on the back that so when I pull the balls in, I have to hit a button to run the belts to pull it up the, we call it our magazine, kind of like on a gun. You know, so you load it up. We can hold three, and then once we get three in there, we back up to the right spot, and then we get auto lined up, which we have a camera on the front, and then our shooter will spin up, and then once it spins up, it'll activate the belt after like 2 seconds, so it gives it time to speed up. And then once it shoots one, there's a limit switch here that triggers to tell that belt to stop loading, so it gives the motor time to spin back up, because once it shoots consecutive ones in a row, it gets slower and doesn't shoot as far and it's not as accurate. So we put the limit switch there and then made a program so that it stops and gives it time to spin back up and then shoots again. So in theory, we shoot 3 balls at a time, and they should all hit inside, and most of the time hit the middle and the back center hole. And so that's basically our strategy, is just shoot.
So looking at your hopper mechanism here, what do you do to make sure that you're not having the power cells jam as they get into it?
So the main thing we have as far as jamming goes is we have lots of guide rails and guards to keep it from getting out of unwanted spaces. So like we have these to keep it from getting out of the belts, and then these to guide them toward the center of the robot. And then in here we just have it make sure that there's always pressure on them. We always have 2 belts, so it rides in the center instead of just one, so it doesn't go to either side. So we have 2. Same thing with the shooter. We have 2 wheels like that, so it spins the ball and shoots it straight. And that was our main concern, was like making sure they stay on the right track.
Makes a lot of sense on that. Wind us through on your climber mechanism here. We've seen a couple matches that you play so far. It's been very successful. Talking about the stages that go into this.
So the main power behind this lift is it's a dual motor gearbox. It has 2 red lines, so it's the same as our shooter motor, and it has it gearing it down so it goes slower, so it has lots of power, so it can lift the weight of the robot. And then there's a shaft going along the middle of the robot that has 2 spools on each side that has paracord run on them that are tied to the lift. And then this lift is like just a 1 stage, because you can get 2 stages, but those get a little bit weaker, so we just went ahead and go with 1 stage. And we were pushing the height limit at 1/4 of an inch under the top limit that you can go with our hooks. So when we run it, this pulls and it pulls it up, and then this, once we get up there, we reverse the motor and it just pulls it up, and we make sure we get both hooks on, and it has lots of power, just pulls it right up and it stays there. And it doesn't fall down. There's no chance of it falling down because it's not going to backdrive the motors.
Well, 4021, thanks for taking time to talk to us about your robot. Looking forward to seeing more performances here on the field, of course, at the Lakeshore Qualifier. So good luck here and any other future events we might see as well. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thanks to Kettering University for their support of this video. Don't just sit in class. Kettering University is the only school in the U.S. that allows you to work as an engineer your first year with their 3-month on, 3-month off co-op programs. If you are a U.S. student grades 8 through 12, scan the QR code to stay up to date on info and events happening at Kettering and get a free Kettering t-shirt when you sign up by December 12th, 2021. We'd like to thank Stryker for their continued support of First Updates Now. Stryker's internship portal is now open and available. Discover internships and rotational programs located around the world, including their headquarters in Michigan, when you go to careers.stryker.com and click on Students and Graduates. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.